Good morning. It is November the 30th, and this is The Drill. Thank you. The prayer of the day comes from me. Dear Lord, please let the Democrats see the error of their ways and change their mind. Amen. Welcome to all the butchers, bakers, and candlestick makers out there. I'm Ron, your host and the only true conservative in the United States today. Who is the true conservative? First and foremost, he is realistic. Secondly, he is God-fearing. The true conservative is the man who follows his plan. He is appropriate. He is the person that has the courage of his convictions and is confident in what he knows. He's the person that subordinates politics to reality. He's not selfish, but minds his own business. He acts like an adult. He's patriotic and uses common sense. He is judgmental and moralizes. He refuses to speculate, speaks clearly and definitively, and is not afraid to say no. He's open-minded, asking why rather than why not. He is consistent, credible, and influential, not ashamed of his existence, unafraid to learn or correct his mistakes. He is a normal American, and he is better than the socialist. He's a better friend, father, brother, family member, and a better person, period. You have to know that being a true conservative is best, or you are wasting your time. Additional examples of what it means to be a true conservative can be heard by listening to John Cobelt and Ken Champeau on The John and Ken Show on KFI AM 640 Monday through Friday from 2 to 6 p.m. Pacific Time. My podcast is short, approximately 5 to 20 minutes long, because shorter podcasts are easier to download and listen to. The biggest socio-political influences in my life are my parents, my teachers, Hugh Hewitt, Glenn Beck, Rush Limbaugh, Sean Hannity, Dennis Prager, Buck Sexton, Joe Pags, The Enlightenment, Ayn Rand, and Dr. Mortimer Adler. My podcast is made available through Spreaker and can be heard on iTunes, Spotify, Google, and YouTube. I can be reached at thedrill12@gmail.com. Today, where do we stand? The 7 Commandments. Quote of the day, how to win conservative vocabulary, how to think about the stimulus, conservative aphorisms, socialist aphorisms, and socialist vocabulary. All that when I come back. Thank you. Where do we stand? The Pennsylvania Appeals Court denied President Trump's appeal to decertify Pennsylvania's election results. A Trump legal team member promised to bring the appeal to the Supreme Court. Sidney Powell filed lawsuits in Michigan and Georgia. Sidney Powell is one of the Trump team lawyers. Donald J. Trump is still president of the United States. We, Republicans, have a 6-3 majority on the Supreme Court. Republicans have gained at least 8 seats in the House of Representatives. The Senate is currently 50-48 in favor of the Republicans, with 2 races outstanding. Republicans have 27 governorships to the Democrats' 23. Republicans control 55 of 99 state legislative chambers. 4 more states have lost their mind and legalized the recreational use of marijuana. And the state of California is about to go completely insane by creating a ballot measure to decriminalize magic mushrooms, heroin, and cocaine. The monster that's been arraigned for shooting 2 Los Angeles sheriff's deputies should, if there is any real justice, get the death penalty. George Soros still is not dead yet, but I sure wish he were. The no law enforcement union has yet been decertified, and no laws shielding officers from prosecution have yet been repealed, and that is dangerous. The most unpatriotic piece of legislation, the Patriot Act, is still the law of the land, mocking the Constitution and creating the blueprint for the autocratic rule in this pandemic. New York Times v. Sullivan continues to encourage news people to be super citizens who can use unnamed sources to slander and defame people at will without fear of consequences, meaning they can't be fired, they can't be sued, they can't be criminally prosecuted. New York Times v. Sullivan should be overturned. Where's the expose on the Washington Press Corps? Where's the nonprofit news? The communist flu continues. Blue Cross and Kaiser Permanente continue to take our premiums while they use lockdowns to avoid paying claims. Governor Newsom has enacted a racist scheme to keep Californians locked down indefinitely. When I come back, conservative vocabulary. Thank you. There's more to being a true conservative than how you vote. If you want to be a true conservative, you have to act, think, and talk like a true conservative. Hence, conservative vocabulary. Words like no, go back, acceptance, mind your own business, from now on, right, wrong, should, good, bad, evil, reality, certainty, morality, beauty, and polity. These are the terms that are conservative because they are realistic. How to win? Follow the conservative commandments. Number 1, thou shalt not be neutral. That cannot be overemphasized. One of the worst things to happen to this country, particularly for conservatives and Republicans, is the cult of neutrality. Number 2, thou shalt not be pragmatic. Number 3, thou shalt not be idealistic. Number 4, thou shalt not be materialistic. Number 4, thou shalt not subscribe to the cult of expertise. Number 6, thou shalt mind thine own business. And number 7, thou shalt keep thy curiosity in check. When some lefty asks, where is all the evidence of election fraud? The best answer is, evidence to satisfy whom? Quote of the day, the U.S. is the greatest, best country God has ever given man on the face of the earth. Quote, unquote. Sean Hannity. As conservatives, we make the presumption for the status quo and change only when there's an obvious or prima facie case for change. Therefore, the following terms should be brought back into civilized conversation. Bring back normality, sanity, privacy, property rights, the pre-1970 filibuster, outlawry, single-income households, integration, parenting, and along with it, corporal punishment, the primacy of existence, certainty of knowledge, and universal rights and wrongs. Bring back principled behavior, masculinity and femininity, Adam 12, John F. Kennedy, the gold standard, pre-HMO medical care, nonprofit news, civil service, the term stupid question, arguments and fights, the cultural influence of the church and the Boy Scouts. Bring back the Lions Club and the Rotary Club. Bring back bowling, linear thinking, and bring back smart. Be of good cheer. The universe is benevolent and success is to be expected. Therefore, the left has no authority, no power, and they can't win. Think about it. How to think about the so-called women's movement. The women's movement is a disaster for women, not because I say so, but because it is true. Gloria Steinem, the co-founder of the National Organization for Women, recognized that all of the societal changes in America that were supposed to benefit women instead benefited men. The societal changes she was talking about came about in 3 main areas: sex, marriage, and working outside the home. In the area of sex, the pill and abortion for birth control. Both the pill and abortion freed men to have as much sex as they want without having to use a condom or face the prospect of a shotgun wedding. In the meantime, women have to accept the physical, biological, and psychological consequences of using the pill or having an abortion while the man continues to bed down other women. In the area of marriage, the big change was no-fault divorce. This was supposed to put women in charge by allowing them to get out of dead-end and violent marriages. Instead, their husbands can use no-fault divorce as a convenient way to get rid of an aging wife in favor of a younger rival. Finally, women in the workplace are supposed to benefit women by making them financially independent and making them a powerful force in society to be reckoned with. Instead, it took the pressure off of men to be the family breadwinner. Men found their workload cut in half, and women found their workload doubled, because after women got done spending the day achieving financial independence and exercising power, they came home and started their second job of cooking, cleaning, and raising the children. So the women's movement failed and, in fact, backfired, making women's lives worse. Conservative aphorisms. Why? Who asked you? Who cares? Who is we? Are you sure? How do you know? No, you do not understand. No, you are not listening. No, you're not a leader or a change agent. Who died and left you in charge? Who told you that? You don't know? When are you going to figure it out? And my personal favorite, get off of my lawn. Socialist aphorisms. Subvert the dominant paradigm. Question authority. Question everything. Coexist. Up next, socialist vocabulary. Thank you. Since nobody wears uniforms, how do you identify the socialists in your midst? How do you identify the enemy, so to speak? By their vocabulary. Socialist vocabulary includes such words as stakeholders, Latinx, empower, going forward, mansplaining, politically correct, supportive, hegemony, organic, grassroots, code word, dog whistle, buy-in, pushback, stuck on stupid, walk it back, and the masses. The ICE tip line is 866-347-2423. The White House switchboard is 202-456-1111 or 202-456-1414. The Senate House switchboard is 202-224-3121. Back in a minute. Who is the socialist? He's the man that seeks consensus rather than develop his own opinions. He is subjective, petty, and small, taking everything in life personally. He's outrageous, jaded, boring, and rude. He pretends to be a leader and a change agent. He's manipulative. He's sly, cunning, and deceptive. He dresses, acts, and speaks like a child. He is informal and terminally unique. He is childish and pretends that he knows nothing. He is pragmatic and ignores his conscience and pretends that might makes right and that the ends justify the means. He acts randomly and rationalizes his behavior, deterministic, blaming others for his mistakes, skeptical, demanding that others solve his problems. His unreasonableness and irresponsibility make him a bad role model and a bad father, brother, family member, friend, and a bad person, period. So if you think that you should be friends with a socialist, think again. On the next episode, the myth of male hegemony. That concludes another episode of The Drill. Be honest, be smart, be beautiful, and always ask yourself, what is real, how do I know, and what should I do about it? I'm Ron, and that's The Drill.